Sundown towns, let's talk about it. Bainbridge, Georgia is 60th on the list. Wait, I thought we were free after emancipation. Loosely around 1865, right? Well, not in Bainbridge. We were stolen and forced into slavery as late as 1903. And by then, Bainbridge was sick with Jim Crow, and it fits the criteria of a Jim Crow sundown town. This place dehumanized and segregated our ancestors in public spaces, separate and unequal housing and schools, threats of arrest and violence, or worse, the trifecta of a sundown town. Let's learn some history. Our ancestors made Bainbridge rich from the free labor producing cotton and building the Atlantic and Gulf Railroad. Over 1,000 of our ancestors were enslaved here, and by 1859, 75% of railroads in the South were built by our ancestors, still never compensated for their labor. The railroad themselves either owned us or we were rented out. This was dangerous work, so there were many insurance policies taken out for their property, our ancestors. It got so bad between the railroads and the slaveholders that they'd end up in court behind their property, our ancestors. After emancipation, this place was falling apart thanks to their roots. So not only did sharecropping become their new way to build wealth, they quickly found the loophole in the 13th Amendment. And by 1903, there was evidence of our ancestors being snatched off the streets and forced to work for free in the system that didn't want to end. And on July 31st, 1903, after begging for help from the locals in this Jim Crow sundown town, Carrie Kinsley, who could hardly read or write, pulled together a letter to President Roosevelt about her 14-year-old brother being kidnapped and sold into forced labor. She knew right where he was. He was on a plantation named Kinderloo, forced to work for the McCree family. Hundreds of our ancestors were forced to work there in 1903. There was no way we were safe at night here. Stay tuned for part 2 when we talk about the public lynchings in this Jim Crow sundown town.